Hi guys, in today's video I am sharing with you some brands that sell for a pretty penny on eBay. These are all brands that I have personally found myself. Today I include 10 brands that have sold for me from $40 to up to $200 plus. So if you want to learn some brands that do well for me, then keep watching. Before I get started though, my name is Celeste Garcia. I have been reselling for 3 years. I was previously a teacher. I left that when I realized that I can resell for a living and stay with my kids. So I started making these videos to make others aware of the reselling world and how you can make a living and make pretty good money reselling other people's unwanted items. So when I make videos, my goal is to bring value to you. My goal is to teach you new things. So a way for me to know that you are learning something from me, that you are enjoying my videos, is to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that I know that you like the content that I'm providing and I can make similar videos for you, okay? So like I mentioned earlier, these are all brands that I have previously found myself. So if I'm making a video about them and I'm telling you about them, it's because if I found them again, I would pick them up 100% without a doubt. So just to give you a little bit about me, I live in the US. I live specifically in Phoenix, Arizona. I shop at thrift stores, I shop at garage sales, and I shop at the Goodwill bins where you pay by the pound. So as I go through the brands and the item, I will tell you how much I paid for them, where I found them, so you could know why I picked up the item and why I thought it was a good item to resell, okay? So the first item that I want to share with you is this brand, which I won't even try to pronounce because I'm terrible at it. But I picked up this item from the bins, so I paid about $1 or $2 for it. I had never seen this brand before, but I like to keep an eye on unique things because a lot of the times I have found that unique things do pretty well. So when I looked it up, I looked at sold comps, they do pretty well. And actually this one sold for $49.99 within 1 week. And it was the week before Halloween, so I figured somebody might have used it for a Halloween costume. Don't know. Don't care. It sold for $49.99. So that's an item to look out for. I would definitely purchase that item if I found it again for a good price, of course. The next brand that I want to share with you is Beta Brand. Beta Brand, these are some pants that I found. They were actually new with tags. And Beta Brands is like a brand that is designed to look like dress pants, but they fit like very comfortable like yoga pants. And so they're very sought after actually. I found these new at a thrift store, at a regular thrift store. And I actually paid $8 for them, but I figured, it was worth the investment. And they actually sold for $39.99. And I actually made a mistake on these because I listed them for $49.99 and I accidentally put them on sale for 20% off. So that's why they sold, so quickly for $39.99, which I didn't stress about because they sold pretty fast, but I could have probably sold them for $50, but it's not a big deal. If I see this brand again, I will definitely pick it up. It's a pretty good seller. This next brand I had never seen before, but it looked interesting and it said made in the USA, which again is a good indicator that the item is pretty good for the most part. And this one is NSF. And this one actually was a distressed cropped sweatshirt. It was like all ripped. That's probably the reason why nobody picked it up, because it seemed like it was actually ripped. But the ripping was intentional, so you have to be conscious about that. Some things are intentionally ripped, distressed, and so not all people know that. So now you know. I actually also put this one up for $49.99 based on comps. It did sit for a couple of weeks, but it sold with a 20% off sale for $39.99. So I will definitely pick up this item if I see it again. But of course, I still want to double check sold comps on this particular item that I find, just to make sure that item that I have found does well. Because like I've told you before, sometimes pants don't do as well as tops or jackets. So always be careful of that, and always be careful when you're sourcing. So the next item that I have for you is CP Shades, and this one was actually a skirt that I found. I found this skirt at the bins, and I have actually found several pieces from this brand, CP Shades. Sometimes they have in collaboration with Free People. I have found that it did pretty well. I have mainly found tops, so this was interesting for me to find. It was the first time finding a skirt. It's actually a flannel material, and it was a bit worn. I said that in the description, and I actually I'm pretty sure I listed this with a 99-cent starting auction, knowing that it's a popular item. It probably won't sell for 99 cents, but it'll bring a lot of traffic to my store, which is good because that means I'll get top dollar for my item. And so it actually did pretty well. It actually sold for $53 plus shipping. So I was very pleased with that because I got it from the bins and I paid about $1 for it. Okay, so that was a pretty good item. So again, if I find this item, I would definitely pick it up again. The next item I have actually found about 3 times in my area, and this one's a WOM Maker shirt. This one's actually a company that is made. This shirt was actually made in Arizona, so that might be the reason why. I found it, but it doesn't mean that you won't be able to find it in another area because, you know, people travel and they still get rid of their clothes. So this brand does pretty well. I actually overpriced this item, to be honest. I listed it at $45 or best offer, and it actually sold for $45. Somebody paid $45 plus shipping for it. I knew it was a good item because when I looked at sold comps, it seemed like there were about the same listed than sold, so I knew it would sell pretty quickly, and I think it sold in about 2 weeks. If I find this item again, I will definitely pick it up. And I have to say, this item does better in men's than it does in women's, because I have picked up a woman's top and it didn't do as well as this. The next brand that I have for you that does pretty well, that I have found only, I think it's 2 times, is Double D Ranch. And then this was a velvet jacket that I found at a thrift store, and I actually paid about $5 for it. I listed this for $150 and it actually sold for $100 through best offer. Somebody offered me $100 and I just took it. I didn't think about it, I just took it. That it was a pretty good deal, $5 to $100. I'm not going to overthink that. So this brand does pretty well. It has like tops, it has jackets. You know, if you look at sold comps, they sell for a pretty penny. So next time you find this brand, pick it up, if it's for a good price, of course. The next one is a rare brand that I have only found once. This item actually is Roja, and I'll put it up here. I thought it was interesting because it had that like Aztec tribal, you know, print that I have told you in the past to look out for, that it's popular. And it was like a wool fabric. It was actually 100% lamb's wool. I had never seen it before. I looked at comps, but because Roja means red in Spanish, the comps weren't great, and I think I had found 1 or 2 of the actual brand sold. So I took a risk when I picked up this item, not knowing if it was popular or not. And so I listed it, and I actually, you know, was not motivated to list this item for some reason. It was in my pile to list for a very long time, maybe longer than I would like to admit. But I finally decided to list it. And again, not seeing many for sale and many sold, I kind of overpriced it. I priced it at $72. Then I had a sale, so it sold at $54 plus shipping. Okay, so this is an item that is unique. And when I was looking at comps, I saw that others did pretty well. So, you know, if you find this item, I would, you know, look at it carefully. I would look at sold comps carefully so you can decide, you know, if it's a good item to pick up based on, you know, style, whatever it is. The next brand is St. John. I actually surprisingly find St. John pretty often. I don't want to say, you know, every time I go, but pretty often, maybe once a month, in Arizona. And this is a Santana knit like jacket. It had like some embroidery here. I thought it was special. I actually paid about like $10 for it at a regular thrift store, which was, you know, usually more than what I want. But I know that I can get my monies back and more for mint, so I risked it. I didn't find one similar to it when I was looking at sold comps, but I priced it pretty high, hoping to take offers. And then it sold for $80 plus free shipping. I actually tested a free shipping sale for a weekend, and that was one that sold with free shipping. They offered me $80 and it had free shipping, and I thought it was a pretty good offer. $72 basically plus $8 shipping. I thought it was pretty good, so I just took it. So keep an eye out for St. John because they have tops, they have skirts, they have pants, they have jackets, they have dresses, and they usually do pretty well. But be careful because a lot of these items usually have holes in them because of the fabric, and if people don't take care of them carefully, they do end up with holes, okay? But like I've told it before, you can still sell items with flaws. So if you get it for a pretty good price, I would still pick it up. The next item, the next brand that I want to share with you that I have only found one time, but if I found it again, I would definitely pick up, is this brand Zorin. And this Zorin brand I actually found at a regular thrift store. I paid about $3 for, but what caught my eye was that the tag said made in Italy, which I've told you in the past again that that's something to look out for. Again, not all pieces are great that are made in Italy, but a lot of them are, so keep that in mind when you're looking through racks, when you're looking through items. It's something to look out for. And so when I looked at comps, I was actually pleasantly surprised. And this one, I decided to put it at an auction because I wanted to sell it pretty quickly. I started the auction pretty high at $68 and it actually sold for $68. So I was happy with that. They paid right away. And if I found it again, I would pick it up again. And the last item that I want to share with you is the item that sold for $200, and this brand is Arc'teryx. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, I'm sorry if I'm not. I actually found this jacket and I paid up for it. It was new with tags. I paid $75 for, and I actually sold it for over $200. I can't remember the exact amount, but it sold over $200. And so that's definitely a brand to look out for. They have menswear, they have women's wear. I have sold various pieces, and they have also like tank tops and stuff, but you do want to pick up, the jackets are the ones that will give you the most money. So keep an eye out for this brand. So that's all I have for you today. I have shared 10 brands that have sold for me from $40 to $200 plus. If you like this video, let me know, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, bye-bye.